Hello! My name is Green and welcome back to my very special Minecraft series where I build your comments in this crazy world full of weird and wonderful ideas, all of which are yours. So, let's get straight into it. And our first comment today is by Turov, who says, build a fidget spinner spinning a human. I actually saw this so many times in the comment world, anything to do with fidget spinners. It's obviously a global phenomenon. I actually ordered one, but it still hasn't arrived yet, so I'm going to build one in this world. And you'll be surprised how hard it is to make that shape in Minecraft because it's so odd with 3 prongs. And as always, I decided to make it a little more monster-like than was perhaps necessary, so I gave it a mouth and 2 eyes and made it extremely angry because I wanted it to feel like he was getting revenge on the human by spinning it round and round and round and round and round like a fidget spinner all day. So there's a bit of role reversal going on, and you'll find that it's actually incredibly hard to build things in motion. Obviously, every single block is static in Minecraft, so to make it look like it's moving, I had to kind of use some glass and try and position the arms in a funny way. I think it came out pretty well. I'm kind of happy with how this looked, and it's definitely a good comment to start with. So thank you to everybody that left a fidget spinner comment. So next up, Mr. Dragon 209 says, build your magical potato. Now, to anyone that doesn't know what this is, me and Tortoise filmed a video a while ago where we drew made-up things, and one of those things was a mythical potato creature. And I drew that first one, and then a bunch of other people redrew it in typical fashion way better than I ever could. So the idea is that it's a potato with a unicorn horn, and it's got like 4 legs, and it grows diamonds out of its back. And it's just a weird creature in general. But loads of people left comments saying that I should add it to the world as a tribute to my Drawing Badly series. So here it is. I made it out of wood, oak wood, because it's probably the closest thing to potato, even though it's not quite yellow. It's more like a dirty brown sort of thing. And then I added a quick horn and a little face on it, and then there was just to add diamonds. And instead of adding just diamond block, I thought I'd add like stone and then some ore on there as well, but it was hard to make it look a bit natural. I mean, this creature isn't natural. It's hideous, but the artwork that people drew for me, like replacing it, was just outstanding. So I was really keen to add it to the world and show off some of the fan art that people did as well. So thank you to those guys as well. Pansit Anton 793 said, build Green and Mumbo as girls having a tea party. Well, that was a bit of a odd comment, but in this series, if you leave a comment down below and everyone else enjoys it, they can upvote your comment to sort of fast track it to my eyes, because there are thousands of comments and I can't do all of them. So 279 people have voted this, so I kind of had to do it. So I've built a female Green with a little bit of sass. She's wearing a grey skirt instead of trousers, and I decided to add some nice hair. And you know what? My skin looks pretty good as a girl. I'm just gonna put it out there. I like the hairstyle that I went for, and yeah, I'm pretty happy with how that came out. But Mumbo, on the other hand, Mumbo as a girl is a bit harder to do, because he wears a suit and he's got a mustache as his main feature. So I went for a similar style girl body in Minecraft. I mean, girls and boys in Minecraft have exactly the same body type, so it's very difficult to distinguish the two. So I gave her a little suit and a skirt as well, and then I tried something that didn't really work out. I tried to make a mustache-shaped hairdo on the side. Like, that's meant to like imitate the mustache, but as hair, but you still can't tell it's mumbo jumbo. So I kind of just gave up and ended up adding a mustache anyway. Just I don't know, just for the sake of it. Just reshaping it to be the right size. There we go. If anyone is a fan of Mumbo Jumbo, check him out and leave a comment on his next video saying, hello Miss Mumbo Jumbo, but never tell him where you heard it. Just call him Miss Mumbo from now on. So there's us having a tea party. A pretty cool comment. And if you have any ideas of your own, make sure to leave a comment for me to see. And if you guys aren't feeling particularly creative, take a look at what other people are saying and upvote them, and maybe then I will get to see them. I have to sift through thousands of these comments, so try and make it funny or special. Buddy the Elf says, build a cat saving a fireman from a tree. I like the idea of this to begin with, but when I started building it, I realized I had to make a massive tree. And I even planned ahead, adding a big branch on the side where the whole scene was going to happen. But once I'd done this bit, I realized I had to cover this in a lot of leaves, and that took me like 10 minutes straight of just spamming that block absolutely everywhere. But finally it was done. It looks kind of like a tree. There we go, no problem. And now we can actually build the important bit, which is the fireman, which is going to be hanging from this branch here. And I had to like look up exactly what a fireman uniform looked like, and it was really hard to distinguish it. So he does look a little bit like a bumblebee, which is my mistake, but I tried to give him, the yellow helmet, and I gave him a fire extinguisher on the right-hand side so you could distinguish him a bit more. But then I had to build the cat, and the cat's way of saving him was to basically just drag him down, like, get down here. And I had a hard time because I didn't have that much space, and there was no way I was going to be able to make that tree any taller. So I just had to work with the space that I've got, and he's like crouching down, pulling him down, and I had a hard time with this face. Look, that looks like a bunny, right? And I realized that just looks straight up like a rabbit. So I had to play with it a lot and try and make it look like a cat. In the end, I conceded and just went for a Minecraft looking cat, which is way better. That looks less like a bunny rabbit, but the scene actually works. The cat is obviously massive. It's bigger than the fireman, but he's just like dragging him down from the tree, and he clearly like doesn't want to go. So I thought that was a pretty cool little scene going on there, and it was a nice comment as well, even though it took me like half an hour to build. The next comment is the Red Shell, who says, build a tower afraid of heights. Which, when you think about it, if buildings could think or have feelings, if being afraid of heights was a thing, man, towers would really have a hard time. So I ended up just making a very simple looking one, because if I had to detail an entire skyscraper by hand, it would have taken me hours. So I just made a very, very simple stone brick tower that went just above most other builds in the world so that he can seem like he's very high up. And then I made a bunch of windows, again, very simple, just some yellow ones, so you can tell what it is. It's a block of flats or a skyscraper. And then I gave it a face at the top, looking down with eyebrows. Emotion is usually a lot to do with the eyebrows and the mouth. So you can see there, he's like, ah, no! So again, it's a very simple build. I actually really enjoyed this comment, and he's gonna stick out because he's so tall. That face is going to stick out, and it goes quite nicely next to that red horrible thing next to it. Next up, we have Shakira Ducks, who says, what about a gangster duck? Well, I'll tell you what about a gangster duck. I'm gonna make one. And I love ducks, can I just say? I did biology in university, and I love animals. I've got a great affinity with them, and ducks are one of my favorite species. And there's so many different kinds of ducks. So I've gone with a white one, so don't mistake this for a goose. This is a duck. And trying to make it gangster turned out to be quite difficult. I added a gold chain around it, and then I decided to give him some sunglasses maybe, and the duck itself looks pretty good. You can tell what it is. But the moment I tried to put a baseball cap on its head backwards, it suddenly looked like a beret, and it looked really French. So I am sorry, he does look more hipster than gangster, but I really like this duck build. It's just silly, it's nice. What a great suggestion. Sometimes I take ones that haven't got any upvotes at all. It could just completely take me the right way. So, Jacob Soulsbatch says, build a fish fishing for humans. What a nice comment. I've seen it so many times, so I have to do it. Sometimes upvotes aren't everything. I just see lots of people spamming the same comment, so it's clearly quite popular. So I did my head there coming out of a pond. Obviously, because this is a creative world, there's not much space underneath, so I just had to build my head in a little puddle of water. And then a fisherman fish with the hat and these little fins, and he's holding a fishing rod with some iron bars which are connected to my head. So it was a fairly simple build, but it was a good one nonetheless. So, we're on to our last comment now, which is a bit of a throwback. Jowman says, build a snail with an actual house in its shell. Quite a few upvotes. Now, this is going to be a bit of a throwback because I actually did a video on how to make a house in a snail shell like a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, I don't remember. And I was quite surprised in the fact that I replicated a very under-detailed version of it for building your comments. So, thumbs up if you remember the wacky build house snail thing that I did. I did actually make it pretty close to how it was in the video, but obviously there's no room on the inside because it's so thin. It's only 3 blocks thin, so there is no space for interior, but there is a house on it. It's got a shell. All of the snail is made out of sandstone. He's got a couple of eyes, and it looks really good. So, throwback to that very old video, and my commentary style is a little duller than it is now. So, yeah, if you want to go and build one of those for real, head back onto that video. And that's it, everyone. That is all of the comments for today. Thank you so much for watching, and if you have any ideas, please, any at all, even if they're really, really silly, drop them down below, and I will sift through them as best I can. Thanks again for watching, and goodbye.